Good folks there.
Well, I think we've both been blessed. I think that's the beauty of being here. We all do. We're all together. But what he had to say about you are called to a unique mission if you are suffering, and that in this bodily form of offering, we can make it a gift. Just so powerful in the life of John Paul II as he demonstrates and Jason Everett writes about.
It's a great message for us to have. We're continuing our coverage here from Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. Glenn Leverins along with Brooke Taylor getting a chance to meet with some folks who've traveled for a while on a bus. What beats a busload of folks going to a National Eucharistic Congress? Nadine Friederichs is with us. She's the Director of Mission at All Saints in Lakeville. We had Father Tom Wilson on earlier this week, and we're so happy to have you along. You recommended as someone with great enthusiasm, along with a bus full of folks that came down. And welcome very much. Nadine, how was the trip?
It was wonderful. Yeah, we made our way from Lakeville down to Davenport, Iowa. That was our first stop, and we stopped at the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Davenport, took a tour, and had dinner, and it was such a lovely community. That was the first stop on the pilgrimage. And then we crossed into Illinois, big cheer on the bus when we hit Illinois, traveled over to Peoria, and we stayed overnight in Peoria and then celebrated Mass at the cathedral in Peoria, the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, and that was beautiful, and toured the Fulton Sheen Museum.
Oh, yes. We talked about that yesterday from El Paso, Illinois, about 2.5 hours from here. That was the farm where he grew up.
Okay.
Newton and Delia Sheen, Fulton, their son, and what a gift for you.
Yeah, the museum was a great testimony. We were able to offer our prayers at his tomb. At the cathedral. So I would say...
What a way to start.
Right. And then the drive here. And when we got into town and saw the banner across the Skyway, second cheer on the bus.
They do a good job with banners here in Indianapolis. Whether it be the welcome for all of us or, promoting a certain basketball player that's really come on the scene in the WNBA this year. Well, Nadine, you mentioned kind of the cheers each step as you got closer to Indianapolis. And when this started, though, I'd imagine you might have had some people out on the bus that were even part of watching the Marian Route procession.
Yes. And in fact, our parish, we didn't go to the St. Paul procession, but we went to our neighboring parish in Farmington. And we walked from St. Michael's in Farmington as it made its way towards Hampton on the east side. And it was just great when we got here that night, and when they said it started in Minnesota, the big cheer went up that Marian Route started in Minnesota, and we were part of it.
Now, will you and your group be part of the procession this afternoon in parts of downtown Indianapolis here? Yeah,
our hotel is near the Memorial Monument, and so our plan is to go out at that point and welcome Jesus as he makes it down the street, and then jump in whenever we can. Yeah.
Or be carried along by the sea of humanity.
Exactly.
You might be off your feet and just being moved along by the crowd.
Right.
How about other takeaways from this weekend? Things that impressed you, that surprised you?
So many conversations with people about what they're experiencing. The speakers are world class and bringing tears, joy, so many moments of connection with each other. And in Minnesota, we have some great people in our Catholic community to help us understand our faith, but we're being brought speakers and other faithful people from around the country, and it's so eye-opening. Someone compared this to the state fair of our Catholic world.
I was getting the vibes of the midway at the state fair as we made our way toward the food.
But just so much to take in, from the music to the rich prayer to the beautiful liturgies as we just saw. It is overwhelming in a great way. overwhelming in such a great, passionate way. I reached out. We have a group chat with all our pilgrims, and I reached out to ask for some words of how people would describe it, and awe, love, beauty, amazement, peace, surrender.
Now, you mentioned when we set this up and we talked when we were all still back at home that you'd have a busload and a half or more of people, many that were experienced Catholics, to put it euphemistically, right? Maybe have some gray hair like I do as well. For them, what's been the experience to see something like this, which is brand new in the lifetimes of, I'd guess, everybody who is on the bus for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, they're as overwhelmed and taken by the beauty of it all and the inspiration. So I do believe no matter where you are on that journey, he's meeting you there, right? It's not complete till it's complete. So even though we do have more, as you said, experienced Catholics with us, they also are very, very encouraged by our youth. And last night when all the youth went down by the stage and sang.
Were you running down there too at that time?
We weren't. Our bones are starting to feel the stadium seating, but just the love and joy of our youth, I think, is what they're taking away from it, because that gives us hope.
Certainly does. Certainly does. How about what you'll take back as director of mission for All Saints in Lakeville? What maybe some ideas or inspiration that you'll take back to implement, even whether it be a program or whether it be just how we treat one another in day-to-day activities?
Yeah, so much, Glenn. There's, this coincides, as we all know, back at our archdiocese with our synod and the year of the Mass. There's so much to take back, so much about what the Mass is to us, what it is to everyone, to the world, and breaking it down and putting it in simple terms. We have great theologians talking to us, and they say it's so simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be exclusive. It can be for everybody, and I think that's what I'm going to take away, is trying to help others see the Mass for being the simple prayer of just Jesus giving himself to us and us partaking of that. So, but the exhibit hall, everything, so many ideas. My brain is on fire, and I don't know if that's good for Father Tom Wilson or not, but so many ideas.
Your brain on fire too, Brooke, is it?
Well, when you were mentioning about the overwhelming feeling, I think it does parallel pilgrimage, because when you go to these sacred sites, whether it's the Holy Land or in Rome, you're just awed by the scale of it, the significance of what it means. And it really does take a lifetime. I know for all the pilgrimages I've gone on, still years later, I'll go back to moments or experiences, or in prayer, there'll be a consolation that bubbles up. And I believe that will happen from what we're having here during this Eucharistic Congress. The historic moment, we feel it, and then everything on top of that is just layered. So,
and as they keep reminding us, this is the moment, right?
Yes.
This is the moment. Tonight's going to be, they brought us to this point, and they're going to bring us up, and they're going to set us free. And what is that? What is that going to, build in people's hearts and minds, and hopefully the boldness and the courage. That's where I think we're going now.
Well, Nadine, stay fired up. Enjoy tonight, the rest of the trip. Have a great trip back, and bring good wishes to the folks at All Saints in Lakeville. Director of Mission, Nadine Friederichs, joining us today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Brooke, I think we ought to head back down to the stage. Somebody pretty good's talking right now.
I'd say our friend. We just heard from him yesterday, Dr. Edward